Geoffrey of Monmouth and Arthurian Legend by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. Arthurian legend has captivated countless individuals throughout history. Among the prominent figures contributing to its development, Geoffrey of Monmouth, circa 1095 to 1155, stands as a significant influence. To understand the origins of Arthurian legend, we must first examine the life of Geoffrey of Monmouth himself. Born in the late 11th century, Geoffrey was a Norman cleric and historian. He is revered for his pivotal work Historia Regum Britanniae, the history of the kings of Britain, which marks his most notable contribution to Arthurian literature. This foundational text played an instrumental role in popularising Arthurian legend across Europe. Geoffrey posited that Arthur was a legendary king who defended Britain against Saxon invaders during the 5th and 6th centuries. Historia Regum Britanniae offered a compelling narrative that connected the mythical King Arthur to a historical context. Geoffrey's account provided a structured genealogy and detailed tales of Arthur's valour, including his famous magician advisor Merlin. The work elevated Arthur's status from a regional hero to a national figure, solidifying his place in British folklore. Merlin, the enigmatic figure in Arthurian legend, holds a significant place in the narrative of Geoffrey of Monmouth. As a powerful sorcerer and advisor to King Arthur, Merlin's character embodies both wisdom and mystery. Geoffrey's portrayal of Merlin showcases his magical abilities as he plays a pivotal role in shaping Arthur's destiny. From his prophetic visions to his ability to shapeshift, Merlin's supernatural powers add an element of enchantment to the Arthurian tale. Furthermore, Geoffrey presents Merlin as a complex character torn between his loyalty to Arthur and his own personal desires. This duality adds depth to Merlin's character, making him not only a fascinating figure, but also a catalyst for the events that unfold in the Arthurian legend. Surprisingly, Arthur's sword Excalibur is never mentioned in Historia Regum Britanniae. Neither the story of Arthur drawing the sword from the stone to prove his lineage, nor the story of Arthur being given the sword by the Lady of the Lake appear in the narrative. These stories have emerged in other accounts of King Arthur, and traditionally they involve two different swords, although sometimes they have both been called Excalibur, leading to confusion. In the broader Arthurian tradition, Caliburn is the name of the sword in the stone, while Excalibur is the sword given to Arthur by the Lady of the Lake after the sword in the stone broke in combat. In Geoffrey of Monmouth's account, Arthur's sword is called Caliburn, which is described as an excellent sword made in the Isle of Avalon. No magical properties are attributed to the sword. The Holy Grail holds a significant place in Arthurian legend, captivating the imagination of both medieval and contemporary audiences. While Geoffrey of Monmouth's writings do not explicitly mention the Holy Grail, his work lays the foundation for the development of this iconic element in later Arthurian tales. The concept of sacred objects or vessels associated with divine power can be traced back to ancient mythologies and religious traditions. It is through subsequent writers such as Chrétien de Troyes and Sir Thomas Malory that the Holy Grail becomes intricately woven into the Arthurian narrative. Nevertheless, Geoffrey's seminal work serves as a catalyst for the evolution of Arthurian legend, providing a rich tapestry upon which this enigmatic quest for the Holy Grail can be explored. The Knights of the Round Table is a central aspect of Arthurian legend, but these and their heroic tales were developed by later writers. However, Arthur holds his knights to such high standards of excellence that even the person of the noblest blood cannot feel proud unless he dresses like Arthur and his knights. This group of knights, as described by Geoffrey of Monmouth, symbolises the ideals of chivalry, honour and unity. The concept of the Knights of the Round Table may have come from Emperor Charlemagne, who held a council of 12 peers, which was a format followed by later French kings. The impact of Geoffrey's writings cannot be underestimated. Historia Regum Britanniae inspired subsequent authors, poets and artists to expand on the Arthurian legend. It fostered a sense of British identity and contributed to the revival of interest in Arthurian stories during the Middle Ages. Geoffrey's work also served as a primary source for future medieval chroniclers, such as the poets Layamon and Robert Wace, who further disseminated the Arthurian legends. Although Geoffrey's writings have left an indelible mark on Arthurian literature, they have not been without their fair share of criticism. Scholars, both contemporary and modern, question the historical accuracy of his accounts and argue that he blended myth with historical events. It is worth noting that Geoffrey's work was intended to entertain the educated elite and glorify the British kings, rather than provide a factual record. Such criticisms, however, do not diminish the cultural significance of his contributions to the Arthurian legend. Geoffrey's portrayal of King Arthur laid the foundation for subsequent writers, inspiring them to create their own versions of the legend. Notably, French author Chrétien de Troyes and English author Thomas Malory expanded upon Arthurian themes, introducing iconic characters such as Lancelot and the Holy Grail. These literary traditions flourished alongside the Arthurian legends popularised by Geoffrey. Geoffrey of Monmouth's contributions to the Arthurian legend cannot be understated. Through his seminal work Historia Regum Britanniae, he provided a historical backdrop for the mythical King Arthur, while weaving a rich tapestry of tales that captivated generations to come. Despite the controversies surrounding his accounts, Geoffrey's influence on subsequent writers and the lasting impact of his work make him an integral figure in the development of the Arthurian legend.